Salute, MobTube. How is everybody today? Miss Can't Be Wrong, Mikkel1, MRE Fertilizer Management, Frankie Rizzo. Only 10 people. You know how it goes. Addiction and recovery. We don't get that many, but that's all right. It's the holiday weekend, technically. So it's a good time to do one of these. I worry about people on holidays, especially holiday weekends. It's another partying holiday. You know, a lot of people drinking, getting high, everything else. So it's a good time to have an addiction and recovery stream. Brian Bozak, what's up, my man? Bro, I'm glad you don't have JC on your show. That guy can take a 10-second answer comment into a 10-minute runoff on some entirely different BS, one-sided conversation. Yes, he can, but that's JC. That's one thing we know about him. He's got a hell of a troll channel, though. I'll tell you that much. Yeah, Miss Can't Be Wrong. Exactly. Irish style. What's up, bro? Miss Charlie Steen. Good evening, FBS and family. Good evening to you, Miss Charlie Steen. 16 people. We're moving very slowly. But I think I have something we could talk about addiction and recovery related just to get us started. I'll give it another 2 or 3 minutes and then we'll go. Any of you guys watch SoFlo today? Michael Hensley, good to see you. I just saw it, Mustache Pete. Let me see. Make sure I read it right. I didn't know you did one. I don't get alerts for some reason. Wait a minute. Maybe I did and I didn't. No. That's odd. Are you serious? I gotta see that. That sounds hilarious. Tony Pizza. Yeah, I'll watch it. Minute and 33 seconds. I don't want to do it right now, but I promise I'll watch it as soon as this stream is over. B1, you're a low life. SoFlo is a good dude, and there is no shit talking allowed on the MobTube family in here. And SoFlo is a huge part of that. Very good dude. I'm proud to call him a friend, and I ain't having it. So if nobody blocked B1, please do so now. Deadly, what's up? Bend over, Polly Walnuts. All right, so listen, I want to start with this. You know, we do these shows differently. Addiction and recovery, I talk very seriously. I talk about things addiction and recovery related. I don't do these shows to do the other stuff I do on the other streams. I leave that for a different time. And tonight, especially because of things that have transpired in the last 24 to 36 hours, I might do an Ask Me Anything show tonight. Okay, so hopefully you guys will be there for that. But this show, I like to talk about stuff that's kind of deep, and you know how it goes. So let me see. Don Berlin said, Chris, got your note. My apologies for not responding as I was at work. You are correct. You and I married up. Our wives are saints. We probably are not. Don, well said. Yes. I don't. Yeah, I definitely know I'm married up, and our wives are heroes and angels as far as I'm concerned. So I hear you, bro, and thank you again for what you did for us. Oh God, this guy! You want so close or so badly to be close to me, don't you? B1. Ugh, God Almighty! You guys are obsessed, like a bunch of raggedy broads. Anyway, off that. So when I was on SoFlo's show today, at one point we were talking about our past, and somebody had asked SoFlo if he regrets, what he did, if he would do it over again, as far as his criminal life and everything that came with it, like 22 and a half years in prison. Um, so when he said that, I started thinking about it, and I said it on the show. See, a lot of us, Lee, SoFlo, me, people that were on that show, many other people in this genre, we've had fucked up lives. Okay. A lot of us have had substance abuse issues. Almost all of us are convicted felons. Almost all of us have done jail time. Um, and it's a different world when you have that Scarlet F. It really is. You don't have the same rights as the average citizen. So I think we kind of understand each other. But when he said, basically, that he doesn't really regret it, it made me think, and this is what I was pondering. Uh, as much as I wish, in a way, that I could turn back the clock, if there's one thing I wish that I never would have done, never would have even considered doing, it's taking a drink or doing a drug. I can attribute damn near every single bad thing that has ever happened in my life to my drug and alcohol abuse. Nobody else's fault, mine and mine alone. And I always think about, what if I never, even cocaine, okay? What if I never touched cocaine? Because cocaine drove my alcoholism. Okay, that was the driving force. So what if I never found that drug? Now, what if is pointless. Even those words are next to each other. There's no point in even saying it, really. What if? It just doesn't matter. As my friend Common Sense once said, if my aunt had a dick, she'd be my uncle. You know what I mean? So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But thank you, Gilded Age. It's very kind of you. Steve Cutler, what's up, my friend? I'm going to smoke one of your cigars today, as soon as this is over. But what I was thinking about is, as much as I regret it, and I wish that I could at least take a peek at what my life would have been like if I never tried drugs, mainly cocaine, because honestly, I wasn't a drugs guy. I was a cocaine and alcohol guy. I tried other things here and there. I smoked weed a few times, 5 or 6 times maybe. I did acid once or twice, and I tried ecstasy. But that's it. Oh, mushrooms once though, like Johnny Dangerously says, once, or the guy on Johnny Dangerously. um, my thing was cocaine and alcohol. It was my peanut butter and jelly, my cereal and milk. It went together hand in hand. It was a perfect combination to me. And as much as I regret the fact that I ever uh, did what I did and tried those substances and became addicted to them, I also have to remember that every single thing. Oh, really, Steve Cutler? I never had one of those. Every single thing that has happened in my life has brought me to where I am today. Now, could I be somewhere else happier? Maybe. Sure. I don't know what the other options would have been. But I'll tell you one thing. I have found so much joy in life itself. Just waking up in the morning and the excitement of the day. And everything, plans. Tomorrow, me and Shanna, my stepkids, have plans. Something fun I'm looking forward to. Turning on SoFlo's show. It's my favorite show on YouTube. Every day, I don't miss it. Listening to that, doing my own shows, going out, doing stuff I have to do, seeing Shanna, spending time with her, hanging out with my stepkids, my daughter, whatever. My mom. It's I'm extremely grateful for where I am and what I have in life. So to regret my past would kind of be like shitting on the, I hate using the word, but blessings that I have today. So is it worth regretting anything? I don't know. I guess it depends on where you are and how you feel. It's got to be each one of us as an individual has to decide that for themselves. But I understand why SoFlo, for example, doesn't necessarily regret his past. I'm sure there's things he regrets, but Look where he is today. He's a success. He's got his YouTube channel. He's got the mob tube friends and family like I have. He's financially well off as far as I know. He enjoys life. Him and Tina are always out doing things, going places, traveling, having a good time. He seems to make every moment count like I do. And I can understand why, even if you've been through hell, um, if it's gotten you to where you are now and you're happy and you wouldn't trade it for anything, then I can't say it was worth it, but at least it worked out. Okay, I definitely won't say the things I've done in the past, the destruction I've caused was worth it. I can't say that. All I'm saying is that rather than regretting it, I just am grateful for where I am now. You can't think about the past. It's a thief, honestly. It steals your future and your present. It really does. I spent so much time. Oh my God. Oh, you guys have no idea. After me and my daughter's mom broke up, years, what ifing everything to death. What if this? What if that? And thinking about what my life was like, my DJ career, my financial success, all that. But it was fucking pointless. And you know what it drove me to do? Drink and do drugs. I mean, or one drug. That was it. Thinking about the past constantly. It was the most destructive thing to my future that I could have done. So I say this all the time. It might sound repetitive, but it might be repetitive. But I am extremely grateful for the life I live, for my wife, the fact that my mother's still here to be with us, for my daughter and her success and happiness, for my stepkids and watching them grow. Both of my stepkids are wonderful. My youngest stepson is involved in baseball, basketball. He goes out, he does stuff, he hangs out at the park with his friends, whatever. He's a straight A student. He's a good kid, well behaved. My oldest stepson got his life together after his friend died. He's gotten his license. He bought his first car. He's got a job. He's got a beautiful, wonderful girlfriend. And, it's so nice to see everybody doing well and to actually be here to witness it, because I shouldn't be here. Just like SoFlo said today. The brushes with death are like, I'm not just saying that. I've literally had, and I still have, doctors that tell me all the time, the fact that you're still walking the earth is a miracle, nothing short of one. Now, I don't believe in miracles. I believe in science, and that's what I believe kept me here, medicine and science. But there's no doubt I shouldn't be alive, not to mention, the street stuff, getting shot at, robbed at gunpoint, beaten half to death, all those things. It's I don't know what the word is, but it truly is amazing that I'm still here, without a doubt, and that I'm capable of living the life I do. A few years ago, and I'm sorry if I'm boring you guys, but a few years ago, as I told you, 2015, whatever, 2014 actually, but 2015, it wasn't much better yet. I had a 10 to 15% heart function. I mean, I literally couldn't, you don't understand. It's not like, oh, he just has a weak heart. Now, when you have 10 to 15%, you are crippled. Nothing short of it. I told you, when I got out of the hospital, 12 days, cardiac intensive care, critical condition, you name it. I checked myself out of the hospital after 12 days. I came home, and the first day I tried to take a shower. Couldn't do it. You just don't have the energy. You don't have the strength. and I had to lay in my shower on the shower floor and just wash myself, because it was too difficult to stand. And now, I go to the gym, I lift weights, for a half hour, 45 minutes. I get on the treadmill for 20, 30 minutes. I'm able to, actually do physical activity like a normal individual, and live a normal life. And listen, I hope that lasts forever. It might not last that long. I've been told I could go downhill any day, just like that. And that's it. Heart transplant list, or you just die. That's it. And there's no shot at me getting a heart transplant. No shot. And I know that. The doctors know that. Between smoking, between the fact that it's not that simple. You don't just get a heart transplant. You have to have the money. They want to know that you're able to, you know, pay for the medicine afterwards, and the aftercare and all that. And you're talking about $1 million operation. So it's not that simple, for the average person. You're not getting a heart transplant. That's a fantasy. So, I live with what I did to myself, and I live with knowing that I'm not only paying for it now, but I'm going to pay for it ultimately in the future. You know, the ultimate price, let's just say. And that's all due to me and my choice to use drugs and alcohol. But you know what? Uh, 50 Cent had a line in a song called Heat. He said, I got my back against the sun. I got my back against the wind. I'm down the ride till the sun burn out. If I died today, I'm happy how my life turned out. It's how I feel. If my last days are anything like what my days are like now, then I have no complaints. No complaints. So anyway, that's my spiel. And let's see what you guys have to say. What do you think about regret? There's no way doing certain drugs in moderation if you have that kind of personality. There's no way doing drugs in moderation. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Full speed ahead. Yeah. Like, in other words, if you have an addictive personality and stuff. Yeah. Robert Eiler said it on my show once about, the disease part, because I don't believe that it's a disease. And he said something like, taking your first drink isn't a disease. It's the fact that you need 100 more after that. That's where the disease comes into play. I don't know, guys. To me, we're just a bunch of assholes who wanted to drink and get high, and it turned into an addiction, as it quite often does. I believe, me, I believe in taking full responsibility for my actions and everything bad that's happened in my life. Now, don't get me wrong. I have, and we all have things that were out of our control, terrible things. I had a tragedy about 17 years ago, that happened to somebody very close to me, and it changed my life. I'm still not the same as I was. It was literally the start of the end. It was the end of my DJ career. It was the end. It was the end of a relationship. It was the end of, I lost well, can't say lost, but I was no longer living in the home that I knew and loved. Um, everything. And it's because of a tragedy that had nothing to do with me. It was just somebody I love was in the wrong place at the wrong time. And I still have nightmares about it till this day. I told you guys, Gunsmoke knows the whole story. When you guys see me and I'm down and I'm having a real bad day, you can almost always chalk it up to the fact that I had these fucking nightmares not long before I woke up, and I just can't shake them. I can't get them out of my head. It's one of those things, you saw something you can't unsee, and you experienced something that was so terrible, that it'll stick with you forever. Sure, I'm sure a lot of us have that. But for the most part, everything bad that's happened to me was my own fucking doing. And I got to live with that. And I got myself to kick in the ass for the rest of my life. I'm just trying to do it with a smile on my face. That's all. Thank you. Brooklyn Rob won. I did. I did. Like I said, in my 20s, early 20s to late 20s, I had a great amount of success. I had the world by the balls. You know what I mean? And it was definitely, if this isn't the happiest time in my life, that was. You know what I'm saying? Um, but I was also at that time, even though I was having a lot of legitimate success, and I had a lot of good things going on in my life, and I was truly happy. I was also still selling drugs. I was in the street. I was hanging out at the VPA till 4 in the morning selling coke. I was I was DJing and getting high in the booth and driving home drunk and fucking every girl I came across in the clubs and cheating on my girlfriend and all that stuff. So, yeah, as far as being a better person, yeah, I think now I'm a better person. Um, I don't do any of that anymore. I'm 1,000% faithful to my wife. I'm I'm at home. I don't go to no bars. I don't even hang out with friends anymore. I left most of my friends in my past. So yeah, I mean, I live the most normal life I've ever lived. I will, except for this. This is all right. So maybe I shouldn't say normal. I wake up, I start taking phone calls from people I used to only see on documentaries and read about. I sometimes I'm in contact with the actors that I've been watching in movies since I was fucking 11 years old. I have a lot of, and then I'm on here fighting with random people for bullshit 4 or 5 hours a day. So I guess I can't say normal, but it's as close to it as I've ever been. Could have, should have, would have is a waste of time. Absolutely, Steve. Absolutely. Without your past, you wouldn't have this future. Things happen for a reason, brother. Yeah, I think so. I think so. I'm just like a lot of us. I'm impatient. There's certain things in my life that I used to have that haven't come back together yet. And anybody who knows me personally or knows me like the way Gunsmoke does. We never met in person, but this is a guy who we know each other forwards and backwards. Like, you know, I tell Gunsmoke everything about my past, my present. He tells me the same stuff. We share a lot of our personal lives with each other. And somebody like him, or even Jimmy too, could tell you that these things that I'm missing, that I lost, that I so badly want to come back together and I guess make my life complete are on my mind 24 hours a day. 24 hours a day. They're my most important goals. They're what everything I do uh, in my everyday life. I do in order to try to make those pieces of the puzzle come together. If you know what I'm saying. But it hurts. It hurts every day that you're missing those things, and all you can do is hope that one day it all works out again. And things are back to, or at least finally at exactly where you want them to be. I don't know. Listen, guys, I'm not the best spoken person in the world. I'm fully aware of it. I do my best at expressing myself. Sicilian Barbie, thank you so much. The heart function percentage now is 50, 50 to 55. Yes. I get confused because there was one point in I want to say 2016, where they had told me that it was 55 to 60. Okay. It turns out the doctor that read my echocardiogram wasn't exactly good at what he does. And I went back and had another echo because I was having serious issues. And it turned out it was only 30 to 35. But now I believe it's 50 to 55. And it's what they consider low normal, meaning that, I basically have a normal heart with just a little less function than everybody else. It's slightly weakened, but I don't know, guys. Don't get me wrong. That was I think over a year ago that I got that echo. I have an appointment with my preventive cardiology nurse practitioner. She kind of handles everything, all my doctors and stuff. I have an appointment with her, I believe, in October, and then she'll send me for another echo. They do them yearly, or something a little over a year sometimes, and we'll see what it is then. But I feel good, and I had that PVC ablation, and it basically it feels like I have a brand new heart after that. So, but I listen. I don't know, guys. When I was in jail last time, I saw a doctor, and the doctor told me, "Listen, you're at." I think at that point, that was around the same time as the misread echo. I forget exactly what it was at the time, my heart function. But he told me, listen, and I don't, I guess they have to talk to you like this. They got to be honest. He said, listen, the thing about heart failure is, you could be up, 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 and then just like that, overnight, your heart function is 10%, and you're on a heart transplant list. They've talked to me about everything. They talked to me about an LVAD. I don't know if you guys know what that is. It's like a left ventricular assistance device, something like that. It's basically a machine that's inside and outside of your body. And I honestly, guys, I think knowing me, let's just say I'm not willing to live like that. So if God forbid, or whoever, it came to that decision, to get one of those, if I was in that bad of shape that I would need that, I might consider taking a different route. If you know what I'm saying, I'm just being honest with you. But look, I don't think about it really, the hard stuff. I just live my life. I talk to you guys about it sometimes, but it's not on my mind unless I'm having a bad day and I can feel it. You know what I mean? I just live my life. I'm going to ride this thing till the wheels fall off, guys. And when they do, so be it. Because you know what? Throughout all the bullshit I put myself through and other people put me through, and the things I've had to deal with, the trials and tribulations we all have to deal with, I can still look back on my life and say, in its entirety, I've had it better than most people. Probably, I'm grateful for that. So I'm just not a guy who feels sorry for himself. I'm not. I'm not. I believe in fighting till you can't fight anymore. So let me see. I'm so fucking far behind. Hold on. You have to wait on the transplant list. Yeah, and there's a lot of stuff behind it. It's not just like, oh, you need a heart. Here you go. You'll have it in time. I looked into it. They won't even put me on the list till I quit smoking for 6 months. So imagine, I mean, if something happens to you tomorrow and you're a smoker, too bad. But then, you're talking about $1 million operation, and then the heart transplant center will not even take you seriously if you do not have the money to afford the medication that comes with the transplant. And you're talking about a lifetime. So, it's, I never took that seriously. So often, we in recovery are vulnerable to living in a rear view mirror, feeding the hungry hole inside of us. Regrets and resentments are the same, take up space and pay no rent. Don Berlin, you're probably the most well-spoken person I ever met, and that was beautifully written. Well said. Yes, it's true. It's true. That's the, like I said, it's the biggest thief. Thinking about your past and living in the rear view. Absolutely. But listen, I did it for years, and I understand people who are doing it now. It's not as easy as just saying, and you know, Don, it's not as easy as just saying, stop living in the past. Some people can't. I did right up until I went to rehab. Right up until I went to rehab, I was still thinking about what my life was like 15 years before, and regretting every decision I ever made, and using drugs and alcohol to kill myself to escape it, to escape the pain of it. It wasn't until I found new happiness that I started to forget my old happiness, if you know what I'm saying. I found a new life. It made me capable of forgetting my old one. That's why I have a lot of guilt, and I feel so bad for people who have addiction issues, and you know, are in recovery, or currently struggling, and they're alone, or they're in a bad living situation, or they're just generally unhappy. It makes it 100,000 times worse. Listen, I'm not clean and sober 3 years because I'm stronger than anyone. That's not why I'm clean and sober. I'm not stronger than any one of you. I just am happy. And when you're happy and in recovery, you don't want to use. At least I don't. If I wasn't with Shanna and I was still back living in New York City, doing my thing on the street, whatever it may be, or even just working some bullshit factory job, and living in my little apartment, whatever the situation may be, uh, I'd be getting high right now. I mean, I'm not even going to deny it. The way I saw it, it was like, why not? My life sucks, so who gives a fuck? Let's end it as soon as possible. But that's bad thinking, because if one of those nights I was getting high and drinking and I was suicidal, if it would have ended then, I wouldn't be here now. I couldn't be talking to you guys. I would have never gotten to experience the things I did on YouTube. I would have never met Shanna. I would have never had my stepkids. I would have never seen my daughter grow. I would have never been able to help my mother. That's why I tell people, because I talk to people sometimes who are in bad situations. They're depressed, they're unhappy, and I tell them, I know this is easier said than done, and it's impossible to think this way when you're living the way you are. But any second of any day, something can happen to turn it all around, and next thing you know, the bad times are just a memory. That's it. And that's the fucking truth. That's why I tell people, you can't give up. You can't give up, because you never fucking know. You never know when it could all turn around. Anything can happen. Anything. FBS, you are right that we should not regret this stuff as bad as it was at times. Yeah, there's no point. What's the point? You know what I mean? Regret brings a sadness and depression, and it gets you absolutely fucking nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. I mean, what are you going to do with it? If, you know, what does it matter? Woulda, coulda, shoulda, like somebody said. I mean, either way, you're in the same fucking position, but instead of figuring out a way to put a smile on your face, you're insisting on being sad, and living in a world you don't even live in anymore inside your head. So there's no point. Mob Entertainment Group. Anytime I used to get sad and broken up about how I was, my daughter reminds me she loves me and is happy things went how they did. Well said, JC. Absolutely. And that's the same thing with me. You know what I mean? My daughter, my stepkids, my wife, of course, Shanna tells me all the time how grateful she is for my sobriety, and hers as well. And how, if it wasn't for that, you know, it's so funny. You guys got to think. I was talking, I think I might have said it. I might have said it on SoFlo's show today. If any little thing, it's crazy how the planets align, so to speak. If any little thing would have happened different in your life, anything, and any little something that in the blink of an eye took place, if that didn't take place, or if something else took place instead, everything you're experiencing in your daily life now would not be happening. That could be good or bad. Okay. For example, I chose to that day, that Thursday, that I just said it's too much. I hit rock bottom and it's time to go to rehab. What if I had some extra liquor in the room that day and I would have gotten drunk, made the pain go away, the withdrawal, and then Friday instead I would have called crisis intervention. I would have wound up in a different rehab, most likely. I wouldn't have met Shanna. If I don't meet Shanna, I don't live in this house. I don't live in this town. Probably wouldn't be on YouTube. All these different things would not be happening. It would be a totally different life I'd be living. Maybe it's a strange thing to think about, but I think about it. That day, they were going to send me to a rehab, oddly enough, that's right in the town I now live in, which, by the way, is not a good place. Okay, I heard all about it. If they put me in there, I would have checked myself out 5 minutes later. If I, because I checked myself in, I certainly could have. I wasn't in rehab for any court-related reasons or legal reasons. I could have left any time. Just me being me and with my personality and the way I need things to go exactly my way, I just happened to find a fucking rehab that suited that. I mean, it's a shock. I didn't ask for it. I didn't even know where they were sending me crisis intervention. They just told me, we got a bed for you at this place called Clarity Way. And the guy said, listen, you hit the jackpot. Don't fuck this up. And I went there, and I didn't even realize till the next morning when a counselor woke me up that I was in fucking paradise. I mean, I had an outdoor swimming pool, tennis courts, basketball courts, walking fucking trails, weekly free deep tissue massages, yoga studio, Tai Chi, gym, fucking pool tables, a movie room, a fucking gourmet chef that cooks your meals twice a day. You realize the chances of a guy like me who had nothing ending up in a $50,000 a month a rehab? I sometimes think it's probably the only place I would have ever stayed, because they let you have your phone, they let you have your laptop, whatever you want. Okay, there's none of that blackout shit. There's none of that no phones, nah. I was able to keep in touch with my family, my friends while I was away, and it made it 1,000 times easier. And I was able to stay as long as I needed. Well, not as long as I needed. They cut me off at 21 days, but point being is, if they would have sent me to this rehab right in this town rather than that one an hour away, my life would be different today. I'd probably be dead or in prison, because I would have left. I would have left the fucking place. You know what I mean? I just got lucky. Brooklyn Rob 1, FBS, I agree with you. Tell someone who has cancer they have a choice to have cancer or not. Everyone we choose not to have. Everyone would choose not to have it. Of course, yeah. It's not. That's why I say something like cancer is a disease, addiction. No matter how you slice it, it started with a personal choice. I knew my dad never did drugs. And like I said, he might drink once a year, if that. He'd have a beer here and there. I saw him drunk one time, and that was when my brother got beaten so badly. Both his lungs were punctured, his fucking nose was broken, his eye sockets, his fucking ribs were shattered. He was dying in the backseat of my mom's Cadillac while she was rushing him to the hospital. That night, when my dad found out who did it, I saw him get drunk, and he went after the guy, and he went to the guy's house. It just so happened that about 30 seconds after he got there, the police were showing up to arrest the guy. And my dad, they had to, let's just say, restrain him. And they told him, lay off the sauce, and they drove him home. But he would have killed the guy. The guy's name was Matt. I'll never forget it. It was him and a crew of guys that did this to my brother. And I honestly, I know my dad. He's a very capable guy. And if he would have gotten a hold of this kid, he would have killed him that night. There's no doubt about it. But he never did drugs or alcohol for the most part. Never drugs. Like I said, alcohol was rare. So he raised me never to do drugs or drink. Never, never, never. And the odd part is the one drug he always warned me the most about was cocaine. I think because it was the 80s and the early 90s. And that was the big thing, powder and crack cocaine. And it's odd that powder is, cocaine is the drug I chose. Maybe that was my way of spitting in his face. I don't know. But he always, he told me, he schooled me on how addictive these things are. And I knew it, and I stayed away from them. You got to understand, I was around guys doing drugs and drinking since I was 12 fucking years old. Everybody around me outside of my home was doing that, all my friends. And I always turned it down. I didn't want to drink, and I refused any kind of drug. I wouldn't even smoke weed. But then I don't know, 16, 17 years old, I just, probably 15, I started drinking here and there, and I loved that. And then as time went on, I was selling cocaine, and I'm watching people do it every day, crack, powder. I used to sell when I was 18. If I told you how much crack I was selling out of my fucking house, I mean, it was like, what was that place? The jukebox where Alpo and AZ and them guys? No, it wasn't like that, but I was selling a lot of crack. I was selling a lot of powder. And I always refused crack. I wasn't having it. It had that stigma that came along with it. You know what I mean? That dirty stigma. But I just one night was like, I got to try this. And I fucking loved it. I loved it. And then I would do it more and more. And next thing you know, you can't drink without it anymore. You just can't. You drink, you need some Coke. I mean, at least that's the way it was for me. I don't know. But yeah, it was my choice. I knew better. I knew not to drink, and I drank. I knew not to do cocaine, and I did cocaine. And that's it. Ryan Davis, I went from 180 pounds down to 130 pounds, and I didn't even know it, as stupid as that sounds, until I sobered up. Bro, I'm not surprised at all. I was a very skinny kid. You could see in that picture with that whole bunch of guys around me. I'm sure most of you saw that. I was tiny, man. Until I don't know, I was maybe fucking 22, 23. I did not gain weight. I was like 130 fucking pounds soaking wet tops. But I remember when I had that seizure, and I wound up in cardiac intensive care and all that when I was 19. That was the first time. I was 112 pounds. And I'm just like you, bro. I didn't even realize I lost weight. Everybody around me did, but I didn't. So imagine, damn near a grown man. And I was 19 years old, and I was 112 pounds. I mean, you can't spend your time regretting mistakes, but spending time making new memories is much better. Absolutely. Well said. Like Jimmy Calandra has said, having my kids even alive reminds me why I'm not ashamed of my past. Yeah, of course. Yeah. And that's the thing, with my daughter and my stepkids. Listen, I've only been in their lives a couple of years, but like with my daughter, just what a beautiful, well-rounded woman she became, and how successful she is in life. It's like I don't know. Maybe if anything was different, that would be different. If anything happened differently back then, I don't know. But things turned out well. Yes, make lots of new memories, and the bad gets further in the past. Yep. Absolutely. Every life one day at a time. FBS should be very proud of where you're at now. I am. I'm very proud of myself. And listen, I'm not stupid. I know that where I am in life is still probably light years behind where a man my age should be. But I'm not where I was. And considering where I've been, where I'm at now, is all right with me. Hey, Chris, sorry, bro. Been working a lot, but I do catch the shows, just not live except today. Well, glad to have you here, Neil. I saw you say something funny, and oh, in Tony Soflo's, I think it was Lee when he said he calls us the five fingers of death. You said FBS is the middle finger, bro. Brilliant, because yeah, that's the finger I would be. So Neil, I remembered that just so I could bring it up next time I saw you. Chris, keep it up with YouTube because you entertained me for a year. Well, that makes it worth it, Neil, and I will. And thank you for saying that. It still shocks me that I have the ability to do that, or that I'm actually making it happen and being able to entertain anyone. It's surreal. FBS, you would need a size 14 to kick your ass. Yeah, no shit. Joseph Montanero, I have analysis paralysis. Okay, that sucks. I think too much. Oh my god. Joseph, you telling me? Why do you think I never stop moving? All these people that are like, he's always in that chair. He never leaves the house. Guys, ask Gunsmoke. Ask Jimmy. I am never home. When I'm home, I'm on here or I'm in bed or I'm in the living room with Shanna. But even then, there's not that much of that. I am, during my day, I'm on the move. From the minute I wake up until it's time to sit down and relax, which usually comes 8, 9 o'clock. And then a lot of the time I'm right back on here. So yeah, I can't, boredom is my worst enemy. I think my mind is, it's like a fucking machine. It's racing 24 hours a day. If I'm just sitting around letting it happen. That's why I stay busy. It's like when they said in The Sopranos, why a shark keeps moving. When Dr. Melfi said that to Tony, yeah, I got to keep moving. How do you meet someone that lives in the same house? FBS. What do you mean? Because I don't know what you mean. I'm sure you're making a joke because I said I met Shanna. I don't know. I don't know. Did I say something wrong? I'm confused. MRE Fertilizer Management. You had to go through it all to get where you stand today, man. Be proud. Yep. Thank you, man. We all should be. Jesse Roth. Normally, I wouldn't cross genres, but it fits. The other day, I saw Lefty saying people on this side needed help for their YouTube addiction, and I laughed hysterically at Mr. 11 hours. At Mr. 11-hour live streams. Yeah, I mean, and that's what I mean. Like, it never even, this is what I mean about people that have no complexity of thought, and they, um, he doesn't even realize that saying that is the stupidest, most retarded fucking thing he could possibly say. I mean, it doesn't even, it's like you said, it's fucking hysterical. But he in his head thinks, yeah, man, they're addicted to YouTube. I'm not. It's fucking weird. What's up, OC? FBS may have 3 years sober, but for every year with YT stress, BS add in an extra 10. Yeah, for real. I had about 70 fucking years sober. FBS, now we have to work on a normal. Wait a minute. FBS, now we have to work on a normal mind. LOL. Yeah, I know, right? I know. We should be sitting outside. I was about to play Mustache Pete's video. I accidentally clicked on it. Told him I'd play it after the show. Jesse, I heard him say he only does certain substances sometimes. I don't know anyone who just do those substances sometimes. Yeah, if we're talking about Lefty, listen. We can't ignore. It's like the elephant in the room if we're talking about addiction and recovery. This is a man. I'll just say this without even bashing him or anything, because this isn't that type of show. This is I don't know if you want to call him a man, a kid who is literally self-destructing and thinks it's funny. Thinks it's funny to the point that when we tell him he needs help, he tells us about how much lean and pills he does every day and kind of laughs it off. And they all make the joke of, oh yeah, you guys think anybody who ever had a drink needs a AA meeting or something, or they're an addict. No, listen. What we've seen from Lefty in the past few months is startling. to say the least. It's a scary fucking thing, man. Like he said, I heard him say the other day, I slowed his video down to make him look like that. Let me tell you something, guys. I slowed that video down 50%, and it wasn't to make it worse. It was for copyright reasons. Okay, I had to manipulate the video. You can play, go to 6 minutes, 6 hours, 28 minutes of that 10-hour stream he did the other day, and watch him on normal speed. It's no different. It's actually kind of a little scarier because you see how quickly his eyes keep rolling in the back of his fucking head. And listen, he doesn't want to help. This is why I give up. Okay, he doesn't want to help. He's not going to listen to anyone. He's going to do his thing. And all he's concerned with is being liked by the worst kind of people. So let him do his thing. I mean, he's going to die. And it's probably going to be during one of these streams. I would put money on it. But there's nothing we can do. You can't help someone who won't help themselves. You can't. So I give up on Lefty. And at this point, I hate to say this, but with the things he's said and done, this might sound heartless, but I don't even care what happens to him anymore. I don't even care. I'm indifferent. Is it sad? Sure, because he probably has loved ones and stuff. But is he doing anything positive? Is he even doing anything to make his life better? No, he's actually on here slandering and bashing people who don't even deserve it, people who tried out to help out or to reach out and help them. So whatever happens to Lefty happens. I wash my hands of it. I do not care anymore. I don't. Period. You can only push me so far. Oh, my sound was cutting out? Great. These fucking morons have never lived a life. No, of course not. Hell no. That's what I was saying on Tony Soflo's show today. I was like, wow, if you think about it, I mean, look at the people you have over there. I guarantee you, I'm not trying to turn this into one of those shows, but, you know, we're talking about gratitude and why people are the way they are sometimes. You look at anybody on that side. You look at MRE. Never did a day in jail. Okay. Probably never really had a hard life for any period of time. And just as far as I know, hasn't been through any fucking thing. I could be wrong. Maybe he had a terrible life. But from what I can tell from the research I've done and stuff, he was always the same guy he is right now. No responsibilities but his fucking dogs. You know, and he spends his life trying to make other people miserable every day in a calculated fashion. That's what he goes for. Got somebody like BK, guarantee you never spent one minute in a jail cell. Probably has a clean record. Never been through the things we've been through. Okay, same thing with Joe. Pampered life, had money his whole life, still does. Never saw the street except when he was looking out the window. Was a sports guy. You know what I mean? NB, she comes from a rich family. Okay. I checked her record. I think she has like a petty larceny or something. Never spent any time in jail. Never been through anything. Had an easy life. Lived off mommy and daddy's money. And now she lives off child support and mommy and daddy's money. So, you know, and I could go on with each one of them. Cane Shades, Dominic, all these guys. It's different. We got a side of guys over here who have actually been in the street, actually been through hell and back as far as crimes and incarceration and being institutionalized and every fucking thing else. And, you know, like I said, most of us are convicted felons. We live a different kind of life, so we think a different type of way. That's it. That's it. I mean, that's probably why none of us get along. We can't relate to them and they can't relate to us. You know what I mean? So look, Angel, I mean, come on. Who lived the kind of life Angel did? Nobody. I mean, except for maybe kind of, sort of Dominic and guys like that. But even then, not the life Angel lived with the stepfather she had. So it's just funny. I mean, it actually makes sense why we think differently than they think. A lot of us, we know how good it is just to be able to wake up in the middle of the night and go get a drink from your fridge or make a little snack to eat and sleep next to your wife or husband and have your freedom and stuff like that. Because we've been without it. A lot of these people, they've been pampered their whole fucking lives. They've never gone through a single thing. So we can't relate to them. No, they don't, Miss Can't Be Wrong. They don't. Lee Cole, Third and Danny Trio podcast. 78 people hit the likes. These shows deserve likes from everyone. Thank you for saying that, Lee. And by the way, guys, as you may already know, 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock will be oh shit, look at this. Lee's show. Okay. It's gonna be his 1 year show. He's gonna play some clips, probably do it better than I did it. And all of us are going to join him and support him, and we're going to have a good show. So I hope you are all there. And then tonight, I'm going to do my regular show. I have to, even though I got to get to bed early tonight. It's just me. I got to get things off my mind, and I'm going to do like an Ask Me Anything type of show probably. So I hope you guys are there for that too. Let me just shout out. Oh, okay, I won't read this out loud. Hold on. Somebody said. Fuck me. All right, well, I don't know if that's even something I'm supposed to say. Somebody sent me about $20 through PayPal. You know who you are. I don't want to shout out your name just in case because of what you said, but thank you very, very much for that. And then, hold on. I usually don't get donations during addiction and recovery live streams. And listen, you know what I say. If you guys want to donate, I won't stop you, but you do not have to during these streams. You don't have to feel pressure to do that. I had another one. Give me a second, guys. I don't want to screw anybody out of their shout out or anything. There you go. Roof Doctor. I'm assuming he wants me to read that. He sent me a $25 Venmo and he said, I played professional soccer, grew up in Kensington and never did a drug, got hurt at 40 again, and ended up homeless in the same neighborhood. The only reason I can send you money from this bank account is because of my past. I hope it was okay for me to read that, Roof Doctor, but thank you. And I know exactly what you're saying, bro. Yeah, your past got you to where you are today, good or bad. So thank you for this. And please let me know in the chat if I was supposed to read that or not. Jennifer Byers, it's good that you're not doing drugs or drinking anymore. Some people, they can't stop doing those things and they end up dead from doing drugs or drinking. Very true. Lee Cole. Hello, people. Being drug free is such a different life. Most of all of it is real happiness. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Most of all, it is real happiness. Yeah, I agree. Exactly. It's not artificial. It's not some euphoria you're feeling because of a substance. It's actually genuine, clear-headed, happiness. What's up, Lucky Luciano? Yes, I agree. It must can't be wrong. My brother-in-law is on the list for a liver while waiting. His kidneys rejuvenated itself, but still does dialysis 3 times a day. That's tough, and I wish the best for your brother. Is YouTube your new Rush, Chris? Honestly, Alan, I think so. Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. Probably. I'm somebody who needs one. I need a rush. I need an adrenaline rush and shit like that. Yeah, it probably is. I never really put too much thought into it. But you know how it is. You replace one addiction with another. Now, don't get me wrong. I went, what, 2 years before I got on here living a very normal, average, pretty boring life. Um, but yeah, now it probably is. Yeah, I think I definitely get a rush from it. I'm missing the same thing, and it's not going to happen, unfortunately. Yeah, well, sometimes it's a definite no, and that's a terrible thing. But you seem like a wonderful person, and I wish you all the best life has to offer you. Um, and I'm sure somehow, well, hopefully, whatever's missing, you're able to find the happiness you had when it was here. I know that sounded all crazy, but it's the best way I could think of to say it. Ray Schultz, $20. We can't help having regrets. The best we can do is learn from them and don't repeat. Missed yesterday's show. Congrats on 1 year. Thank you, Ray Schultz. I appreciate that. And thank you for the super chat. Once you're out of the situation and look back, you wonder how you lived like that. Yeah, I know. I know. I think about that's one thing I do think about. I don't know. Uh, Listen, not only was it bad living as a drug addict and shit all that time, but I look back on that time in that fucking hotel. It was the loneliest, saddest time of my life. And I can't believe that I didn't. I mean, trust me, I tried to kill myself in there plenty of times with pills and shit, but I can't believe I didn't just put a fucking gun in my mouth and end it because it was that bad. BK Sal Crook, no matter how bad today is, no matter what you've done, tomorrow the sun will be shining. Yep. Roof doctor, I have two mechanical heart valves and roof every day. Keep your head up. I call it ignorance. Yeah, thank you, man. Wow, that's it's crazy, right? That fucking technology and shit that keeps us going. Mustache Pete, FBS, that's the butterfly effect, bro. Good movie, right? Bro, you ain't gonna believe this. I never saw it. If ifs and buts were candy and nuts, it would be Christmas all the time. Nice. Also, the better you get, the further you down the still. Made my brother-in-law go to a hospital in Philly. He also is still with Mount Sinai in Manhattan. Jesus. Sorry to hear that. I hope he gets better soon. I hope everything works out. When you wake up, be grateful, live every day like it's your last. That's what you got to do. My brother, he needed a transplant on his lungs 2 years ago, but he did not make it. He passed away. I miss him every day. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Jennifer. Transplant on his lungs. If you don't mind me asking, why? Was it cancer? I know it'll take me a while to get to your answer, but please respond to that. The little choices we make in life basically pave the way to our future. Yes, they do. I watched the Johnny Mac show. It's good to see you and Josie squashed everything, but there was no apology to Shanna. It might be wrong if I missed. Listen, I'll talk about that tonight, but I don't want you guys to take this the wrong way, okay? I had a lot of regrets after that show. I'm not this is not like me and Lee making up or anything like that. My what was said and done, said about and done to my wife, will never be forgotten, never be forgiven. Okay. I'm not at peace with this situation. Okay. It's simply a means to an end. Okay. There's no weakness in me. I'm no pussy. I don't back down. I don't run from anything. And I would never, ever, ever in a million fucking years let anybody talk to my wife like that and then make up with them. Okay. This is just simply a way to put an end to it. And not only that, but I'm not stupid. I know that there's a troll leader over there who uses these people to do her bidding. Okay. And if you could take one of those pit bulls away from her, it's a good thing. So it's strategic. I'm not going to lie to you. Okay. Um, I know what I'm doing, and I just hope you guys trust me. Okay. Don't ever, please, you know me better. Don't ever think I forgot anything. I seriously doubt he would have went into rehab then sober living. I'm not. Oh, I'm not sure who you mean. Being able to chill at a Betty Ford level center is pimp stuff. Haters will act jealous and try to dismiss that, but that's boss level stuff. Bro, you're not kidding, man. I wish I still had the pictures in here, but you've seen them, JC. That was, I can honestly say, it was probably the best time, one of the best times of my life. I was fucking miserable when I knew I had to leave there. I don't have them in here anymore. But yeah, it's like one of those Promises Malibu places. It was actually owned by Promises, and it was the most luxury living I ever experienced. I mean, you could get, and you had freedom. You could get up at 2 a.m. and go outside and sit at the pool and smoke a cigarette. They had a giant fucking fridge that was filled with the leftovers. Anytime you want, anytime. Any minute of any day, you can go to the fridge, take out sirloin steaks, fucking lobster tail, all the shit that they cook twice a day for lunch and dinner. You could make yourself a meal. You know, they're stocked with every kind of cereal, breads, everything. You can eat whatever you want, whenever you want. You can go out and smoke whenever you want. You get in the pool. You could fucking, work out in the gym. It's like, Shanna said this on her show the other day. She would go there on vacation. There's nobody that wouldn't. It was like like a fucking 5-star resort. It was unbelievable. But guess what? It worked. Without all the rules about taking your phone away and all that bullshit, and you got to be in your room at a certain time, and you can't do this, you can't do that. No. This place, you had all the freedom in the fucking world. Okay. And I entered that place last month on the 21st. And I believe I left, I want to say July 10th, maybe, but that might be off. Somewhere around there. And I will always cherish my time there. And while it was still open, it closed now, sadly. But while it was still open, I went back on weekends, on Sundays. I would go back. I would speak at the AA meeting. You know me, I'm not an AA guy. I never attended those meetings, but I would speak at them. Then I would have dinner with all the new clients and the counselors. I would talk to these guys. They would, tell me how they felt about my story and how far I've come. I would go back for holidays. They would have big dinners for everybody, for alumni of the place. I would go back and do that. I would take part in events that happened there. Even after I left, that place became a huge part of my life. And when I would go speak at those AA meetings, I would leave there in a state of relaxation. It was so odd. Like I almost like I just got done meditating for an hour. And I felt so good that it was well worth the drive and the time to go there on Sundays and speak with those people and visit that place again. Not to mention eat the fucking food. When I found out they closed it, it broke my fucking heart. And it's funny because the lady that told me was a very, very, very okay, wealthy woman. Who was there. Okay. Her family is, they own an enormous business. Okay. Multi-millionaires. One of the sweetest women I ever met in my life. She was like a mother to me while I was in there. Every morning, I'd be sitting there eating breakfast. She would come up behind me, give me a big hug. She put me in my place a couple of times, and I appreciated it. And this is a woman who had lost a son to drug abuse. I believe he was 30. I don't want to get it wrong. I think he was 32 at the time. And that led her to begin drinking, and she wound up in that place. But she was an angel in my life. And I kept in contact with her for a pretty long time. I actually did speak to her again through text about maybe 4 or 5 months ago. And I told her about this craziness. She might even be watching now. But an amazing woman. The people I met there are friendships I'd like to keep for a lifetime. All except for 1 or 2. Wonderful fucking people. And this lady, she really, everything she did for me in there meant a lot. And even afterwards. So, I don't even remember what my point of that was, but it's just another story. It was I don't remember what the fuck I even started telling that story for, but you meet people like that, just like crazy as it sounds, when you go to jail. Sometimes you forge lifelong friendships. And you actually wind up meeting very good-hearted people. So I can't talk about that experience enough. Let me get down here a little bit. What would you recommend for someone who's been through the worst 8 months of their life and they see nothing positive anymore? What do you suggest someone does in that situation? See, that's a tough one. Unfortunately, I don't know if I have an answer to that. The only thing I could tell you is remember what I said earlier. Not always, but most times, I'd say 99% of the time, there's always light at the end of the tunnel and things do get better. But a lot of it depends on how you handle it while it's happening. If you stay positive and you fight through it, you'll probably have a better outcome than if you let it bring you down. Of course, there's situations where it may bring anyone down and you have no control over it. But that's all I can say to you. I mean, as far as what to do, I'll tell you one thing not to do: drugs and alcohol. Okay, because they're a temporary escape to a problem that is still going to be there as soon as the drug or alcohol wears off. It's still going to be there. You came a long way. So happy for you and Shanna. Thank you, Jersey girl. Yeah, Shanna was another thing you got to remember. I met Shanna there, and I can't tell you the entire story, like every conversation we had and stuff like that. I could just tell you that when I saw Shanna, I was in the office. She took my blood actually the first time. They were going to run tests on me, and she took my blood. And I just knew right away this is somebody I wanted to get close to, and I heard her voice and I heard her talk. And when she bent over me to take blood, I saw her name tag and her full name. So I remembered it. And then we would have conversations here and there, but basically the same as other clients had. I would kind of try to flirt a little bit. She was very professional. But then I remembered and I knew I had a friend, a young kid, 21 years old, did heroin 3 weeks. 3 weeks after the first day he ever tried heroin, he got into a fucking massive car accident that he caused and rolled his car like 5 times and was in the hospital. And then his parents, who were very, very wealthy, he was from Baltimore, they sent him to this place. Me and him were close. And I would talk to him about Shanna. I'd be like, you know what? I'm going to watch. Something's going to happen here as soon as I leave. And it worked out. It worked out. I remember I sent him an invite to the wedding because the wedding was supposed to be different. It wound up getting fucked up because of COVID. And I said, how about that, bro? I told you I was going to start seeing her. Turns out I married her. He said, bro, you're the man. I think I've developed a YouTube addiction at this stage. Bro, all of us have. FBS, we should plan our first MobTube Anonymous meeting at that rehab. We would get the best of both worlds: good food, entertainment, sports, activities, and therapy. I wish it was still open. The best of foods, the best of wines. The problem with crack or coke addiction is you need something to come down and you end up hooked on benzos too. Yep, absolutely. He actually said you did not post the receipts. Listen, I don't want to get into that on the show, but I'll just say, yes, I did. I mean, and listen, there was other stuff said too. I'm not trying to show every text message, but these guys that are trying to say, oh, you do, sometimes they put you on methadone for pills. Maybe, as far as I know, they do not. Only heroin, fentanyl, shit like that. But he absolutely, when I talked to him later that day, told me that yes, he was a heroin addict. Not just that, but when he sent me a Cash App one time, was it after I spoke to him? I don't forget. I don't remember exactly where in the timeline it took place, but he told me that his heroin cravings, that watching my show helps him with his heroin cravings, and that seeing Shanna's smile on her face helps him with his heroin cravings. Guys, it's not an argument. We know that, but I absolutely did post the receipts. He said in that message under it, did you see? I don't like to tell people because there's a stigma or something like that, or people look at you different. Yeah. I mean, I don't know why he doesn't just admit it, but yeah, he was and most likely still is a heroin addict. So, I mean, I don't know. Pizza Stream talking about Cleveland. Never heard of Danny Green. You never heard of no Irishman like that in Cleveland. You're an organized crime expert. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, right. Danny Green. What? Okay, sure. There's a less chance of you hearing of or there's more chance of you hearing of Danny Green than of you hearing of Lips Masseri or Jack Licavoli. You know what I mean? Danny Green, the fucking Irishman. Are you kidding me? Bomb City? What, 36 bombs in oh shit, was it 12 months, something like that? 36 bombs. It might have been 3 years. I forget exactly. But 1976, Bomb City, USA. Who does he think? Well, he probably doesn't even know about that. Hey, Chris, did you ever go into psychosis when you were on a coke binge, the sleep deprivation? Yes. But the psychosis I experienced was so fucking bad that the first time it happened to me, I was maybe 18 or 19. I was living in my mom's house. And I real cocaine psychosis, you hallucinate. I think Bill Cosby, was it Bill Cosby? One of his sons killed himself because of cocaine psychosis. I was just seeing people from everywhere, like Scarface, how they're coming from every angle and they're just, you know, jumping through windows and coming through doors and climbing over shit to get to him. It was like that. There was people everywhere in my house. I was in my room, terrified. I had a little 25 with a bunch of bullets on the floor and a sawed-off 12-gauge Mossberg pump with a pistol grip, loaded. And I'm sitting in my room calling friends, telling them, you got to come over here. There's too many of them. There's too many of them. And next thing you know, my mom walks in the door. I hear her come up the stairs. She knocks on the door. And I'm saying to myself, how is she doing this? And it hit me that I'm obviously hallucinating. But other than that, I don't know what would have happened. I might have started shooting my own fucking house up. And there was other times too. Yeah, it's probably the worst nightmare. I mean, it's people who have never been through it cannot imagine the terror of cocaine psychosis. It's beyond frightening. It's horrible. It's an experience you never want to have. Your shows help me with my servers, depression, and anxiety. Servers? You mean severe? I'm not sure. I don't sleep much because my mind won't stop racing and pain riddled in my right side. Thank you, sir. Well, listen, I'm just glad I can help you, and I hope you are feeling well now and continue to. Sunday is 8 months. Thought about drinking, but I get sick. It's the worst time in my life. Well, congratulations on 8 months, Lisa, and stay strong. I know what you mean. I it's another thing I have nightmares about. The shit that I went through when I was using and put myself through. Absolutely. I heard from someone he was doing speedballs, which is a smack and coke mix. Yeah, I'm fully aware. Yeah, probably. I wouldn't doubt it. You can't help someone that doesn't want help. No, you can't. Um, I can't see Lefty anymore for that very reason. He's going to OD in front of us. Yes, he is. NB is always authoritative when she's on. She just knows by the way she talks. She's an online bully. Oh, bro, yeah. She talks to everybody like as if they're her employees. And it's like I said, she's the ringleader over there. Okay. They all follow her lead, but we'll talk about that later tonight. FBS, there's an old saying, if you forget about the past, you don't know where you came from. Very true. Sometimes if you force someone to get help, their mind changes once they sober up for a little bit and they see the state of their life because the substances lie to you. Yes, sir. Hey, since you touched on MRE, did you see him panic when girl on Angel Show wanted to show some titty? Please don't show them. We can't do that here. No boobies, please. Oof. Lee is sitting there rubbing his hands together, hoping it rains money tonight. Well, I hope it rains money for him, too. He's a big reason that we're all here, so. Jimmy's now caught on about the prison genre and is now doing a prison show. That genre gets millions of views. Well, listen, he has the stories. Why not? If I was in fucking Lewisburg and McKean and all these places, I'd build a whole fucking channel on it. Why not? People love that shit. They eat it up. People are fascinated by even people that have been in county jail and shit. What's it like? And does this happen? And does that happen? It's crazy. Lee Cole the Third and Danny Trio podcast, $20. What do you mean you don't get donations during recovery streams? Sent link to show to your email. Yeah, I got it. And thank you, Lee. Thank you for that, bro. YouTube is a good addiction for you, FBS. Hopefully. We'll see how it all ends up. All right, I'm getting towards the bottom. Thank you, MRE Fertilizer Management. Yeah, just have some faith in me, okay? I know what I'm doing. That's all I'll say. FPS, you're entitled to feel any way you want after what she said about Shanna. Oh, of course. And as you guys know, listen, if you attacked me, like Lee attacked me, and I attacked him for months, I can forgive him for that. That's I have that within me to do. And he said little things here and there about Shanna, but I knew why he was doing it, and he didn't get, nearly, it was mild. Let's just say that, okay? Once you've done what she's done, I mean, any thought of a friendship or even an alliance or anything, never in a fucking million years. So I'll just say this, okay? This is simply a way to take one more person from their team attacking me and my wife every fucking day to stop that, okay? And in turn, for Josie's sake too, so she don't have me and other people coming at her every fucking day. It is a win-win for both sides, okay? But that's all it is. That's all it is. I don't even want to hear the word truce, making peace, none of that. No, if anything, it's some sort of arrangement maybe. I don't know, okay? But don't think for a fucking second that this is like anybody else I've made peace with. It's not. Oh, is he Mike Canali? That son of a bitch. Nah, that's cool. FBS playing chess while the other side is playing Candyland. Outflank them, man. Listen, I know people don't like to think that I lived a street life and all this stuff, but I know how to handle people. I'll just say that much. You did the right thing, FBS. I protect my wife at all costs too. Yeah, there's got to come a point when it's like, all right, I acknowledge now that as cowardly as it is, this person is not going to come after me. Every time I go after them, they're going to go after my wife. So what do? You know what I mean? Yeah, me too. And please keep us posted on that, Jersey girl. Okay. Johnny Mac, keep trying to do the right thing. There's absolutely light at the end of the tunnel. Good advice, FBS. That's it. You can't go wrong by doing the right thing. You can't. Live a respectable life, and good things will come, I think. Peter M., that's so funny that you said that because I was thinking, but yeah, you're right. But I was thinking when I was telling those Clarity Way stories about how I would leave there on Sundays after speaking at the meetings, I don't know why. I was in this very relaxed mood, and I would listen to Sinatra the whole way home, My Way, and a few other songs that are my favorites. Um, but especially My Way. That's my favorite Sinatra song and one of my favorite songs of all time. FBS, I've met a lot of good dudes in county jail. The sad thing is, a few of them were fighting life sentences. A dude named Rascal from Avadio called Delhi was really good people and got 20 with an L. Yeah, man, that's tough. That's fucking tough, bro. FBS, you made a deal with the devil to get Shanna. Listen, I'll say this, guys. Me and Shanna were both at a very bad time in our lives. Okay, I got to get off here in 2 minutes. We're both in a bad place, and we rescued each other, but much more. Okay, as far as her rescuing me, it was let's just say I needed rescuing a hell of a lot more than she did. She is my angel. That's what I tell her every day, and I will treat her as such for the rest of our lives. FBS, salute my brother. Thursday is a great episode. Drugs destroy lives, and your message and story helps out. Well, thank you for that, man. And listen, I'd love to keep it going, but Lee is coming on to do his big show, and I will do another one of these soon. Just listen, guys, please stay strong, keep fighting, okay? Do whatever you have to do to make it through this holiday weekend and this holiday clean and sober. Spend time with your families if you can. Do everything you can to keep a smile on your face and stay happy. And try your best to keep the negativity out of your life and don't let your thoughts take over. Okay? Just do whatever you have to do to stay clean and sober and do the right thing for yourself and the people around you. All right, guys, I enjoyed this. I'm sorry if I talked too much and didn't answer enough comments, but apparently I had a lot to say today. I hope I didn't bore you guys. I love you all. And until Lee's show and then my next show, I love you all. Salute.